What's up, my friend, and welcome to the Be the Torch podcast. My name is Cletus Coffey, and I get the opportunity to spend some time with you here. So, wherever you're at, thank you for joining us. If this is your first time, what's up? Leave me a high five or some feedback on your favorite podcast listening platform. Love to know what you're looking for and what I can help support you in. But today, we're talking business. We're talking marketing and specifically AI. Why not? Because everybody else is talking about AI, but that's not the train that I'm linking up to. I'm talking about the truth. And I think the truth that most people aren't talking about is that, of course, AI, artificial intelligence, very well may be the future of marketing, but the real secret weapon is not AI in the form that you know it. It's not artificial intelligence. In my opinion, it's authentic intelligence. So if you're using AI to run your marketing, awesome. Hey, there's a lot of it's an amazing tool to help support a foundation rooted in your authentic messaging. And if you don't have the authentic intelligence infused into your marketing, then you run the risk of your message blending into the crowd, sounding like everyone else, being robotic, being straight from ChatGPT, and not your true authentic message and voice and energy and frequency. Because here's the difference. As you've already seen, a lot of the messaging and the marketing and videos and commercials and ads are really being run off of AI, and it's going to continue to grow, and they're all going to kind of just blend in and sound the same. There are some unique individuals out there that are really promoting AI marketing, but they're doing it in their own unique way, authentic to them. And those are the ones that are going to start standing out. So I'm going to tell you why in here. This is a great episode to talk brand authenticity and how it really can crush your competition, and how being true to who you are really is going to make your marketing resonate in a way that artificial intelligence, AI, cannot replicate. Do you feel me? Okay, awesome. Well, what's the main issue here? And I think although AI is a fantastic tool, it is not a foundational strategy. So let's get real. How often do you pick up your phone, you got a quick moment, hopefully not too much consumption, but you're gonna spend some time on social media, or you hear some sort of ad and you think, gosh, it just doesn't resonate with me. It's pretty cool, it looks fancy, it's unique, but it just doesn't call to you, the individual. And you'll know that's the message because you swipe from it. You just move on because it's not calling to you or to whatever your specific challenges are, what your needs, wants, problems are. And that's where authentic intelligence comes in. That's where you, as a business owner, can create messages that have your energy, your authenticity, your voice, your tone, your real life experiences, and delivering them in a way that people can connect with. Again, I'm not saying artificial intelligence, AI, is not helpful. It's incredibly helpful and supportive. I use it in my business, but I use it as a tool to help formulate thoughts, to help formulate a plan, using it as a tool to complement me, my life experiences, who I am. And this is something that even before AI, in my marketing, early on, I got wrong. Because even though AI didn't exist, get this, I would show up as someone that I thought my viewers wanted me to be. And not just my viewers, this is long before I got on social media and when I first got into business, potential customers, partners. I showed up as somebody who I thought they wanted me to be, or who I should be, versus just being myself. And so no wonder why my businesses fell flat. No wonder why I struggled in sales mightily, because I was not showing up and creating resonance. So what's the cost? The cost of doing this is you lose you. You lose your individuality, your authenticity. You lose trust, you lose connection, and people just aren't going to buy from you. They're not going to take that next step with you because They may not be able to verbalize what they're feeling, but they feel it. And you're not touching that void in them that they go, oh, yes, that's me. That person's talking to me specifically. So if your marketing isn't resonating, your customers, they're just not going to stick around, my man. I mean, it's just, they feel your lack of authenticity, and they're going to move on to the next person that does, or some sort of shiny object that attracts them. And it's gonna suck, because it probably, if they're just doing it for the shiny object, it's not going to work out for them, when in fact you could really have served them. So what we want to do is we want to build not just authenticity for the sake of bringing people in, but for keeping them around. That's the beautiful thing about being authentic, is this is not transactional, this is transformational. This is sustainability. This is keeping people around because they know you, they like you, they trust you, because you've been where they're at. And you've communicated that openly, honestly, vulnerably. So, there's a lot of tools that can be used to help piece your marketing messaging together and help support you and automate it and reduce the amount of time that used to take forever, or used to cost you a lot more in team members and so forth. Yet what should not be glossed over is the solid foundation that any type of messaging you're doing, any type of AI, is rooted in your authenticity, in you, your authentic intelligence. So good news is, if your messaging is not hitting, or you're trying to grow and scale, I mean, you've maybe been ripping in business and you've been able to generate some sales, and you've had some success, but you're ready to go to the next level. And you're staring at the AI going, man, it is not, there's something off there. And you're right. So authentic intelligence, showing up as your authenticity, that's the good news, is that is there. And so what I want to do is, through this episode, is show you the importance of showing up as your true authentic self, and knowing that, look, authentic intelligence isn't about using AI to automate everything. It's about using your true voice, your experiences, your wisdom, your setbacks, your failures, your honesty, your truth, your vulnerability with your audience. And if you're not willing to do that, if that scares you, then that's a good sign right there that fear needs to be addressed inside of you. Because if you're afraid to share yourself authentically, real, in your business, it's a pretty good chance you're not sharing yourself real and authentic in your life, talking about in your relationships with your children, whether you're in an active relationship or dating, you're out there looking for someone, you're not showing up as you. You're showing up as this, what you think a woman wants you to show up as, or what you think your kids want you to be as a father. That's a recipe for disaster. It's not going to work. So we're going to reinforce with you that the importance of authenticity, and it matters now, because the AI is here, and it's sweeping business, it's sweeping our society, and that's great. I mean, it's the next evolution of technology. But again, this is about you showing up and having the courage to show up as yourself, to separate yourself from any other competitors out there. You got competitors. That's the reality. Let them jump on the AI train and do things just because it's easy and it's simple, and saves them time and money, and let you show up authentically, and you can harvest all the gold that's available. So in this episode, you're going to learn exactly why authentic intelligence is the missing piece in your marketing strategy, how to leverage a unique voice, stand out, how to build an audience that's going to stay with you, my man, for the long haul. Okay, so I kind of let the bag out a little bit, but my point number one in this really is that AI is not going to replace you. And you, the business owner, you, the voice, you, the messaging. And I don't care how big your business is or how many employees you have, you showing up for your employees, you showing up for your customers authentically is going to draw them. Is going to draw them in. And think about it from your employee standpoint. If you show up authentically as yourself, open, real, honest, vulnerable for your employees, you invite them to do the same for you. And they see that, they can relate to you. You're a human being. You're not just this eye in the sky, managing their work and all that. It's they see you as a real, authentic human being, and that's people that they want to work for. That's the culture they want to be around. So in your marketing, sure, AI can handle a plethora, endless types of tasks. But what it can't really communicate is your story and your energy, your experiences. You may be able to prompt it and fill it with information about you. And sure, it may be able to create a story and a bio, or be able to communicate based on the data you feel it. But it's not going to be able to, someone on the other end receiving it, listening to it, there's a difference when the energetic part of it is there. And I'm trying not to get too, pie in the sky woo-woo here, but it's real, man. The energy is real. I mean, just think, you and I right here. You get a sense of me, my passion, my energy. You're going to hear about my experiences. That's much different if I had AI create this and tried to formulate, embody me and be able to communicate that to you. It's not going to land this game. And so why this is important now is because of the times that we're living in. So we want to bring this authentic marketing into the space where everyone is running to AI, and you are using AI as a tool, but you're embodying authenticity. So for me, I had mentioned earlier the challenges that I had with my original marketing plans, mainly because I wasn't solid with me. I was not showing up as my authentic self because I had not done the work to learn how to be authentic in my life. And I was a people pleaser. I was trying to show up as what everyone else wanted except me. And it caused me pain in my relationship, which was my marriage, that I ended up getting divorced. It caused me challenges in my business, which I ended up losing my business. And here I am, and everyone kept telling me, Cletus, you're in your way. You're in your way. And I was so sick and tired of people telling me that I was in my way because I didn't know what the hell that meant. How do I get out of my way? Okay, cool. Like, I'm all in. Like, let's go. But there was a difference there. That was my ego talking, saying, I'm not in my way. Like, let's go. I can drive. I'm aggressive. I'm willing to work hard. And yes, I was all those things. However, I had not landed on the truth about who I really was. And so it was coming off inauthentic. And my now ex-wife, my wife at the time, she felt it. She knew something was off. She couldn't explain it either, but she felt it. People I tried to partner with, customers, they all felt it. And I was transactional. I was showing up because I needed that sale, man. I was hurting. I needed money. My business was just started or was struggling. And I wasn't showing up authentic as myself. I was showing up just to create a transaction because I needed the cash. And it didn't serve me. It did not serve me well at all. And then I get divorced. I move on. And I find myself in another relationship where I was not showing up as myself. I didn't even know who I was at that point. I hadn't done that work. And so my point is that it shows up in these other areas, and it shows up in one area and it's going to pour into the other. So we don't live in silos. So I really want to encourage you to think about one aspect of your story. I just shared with you a story. And if you've ever been divorced, if you've ever been in a challenging relationship, if you ever lost a business, like, you could probably relate to my story. If you've ever been a people pleaser or a nice guy, how I was brought up and learned, then you can relate to that story. And the power behind that is, like, now we've got something in common. And hopefully that does create resonance for you. And you may choose to listen to another episode here, or you may choose to engage in some of the programs and the academies and the masterminds and all the stuff that we're doing with Be the Torch, because you hear my message and go, dude, I can relate to that guy. And not that there aren't amazing other programs out there, because there are. But you may just find that, damn, there's something about Be the Torch and Cletus and his story that I can relate to. That's what you're looking for. There's plenty of fish out there. This is an abundant world. There's no scarcity. There's plenty of business to go around. This is finding your right voice and your right messaging. So that was number 2. Number 3 is taking that opportunity to build the trust for long-term loyalty. And I mentioned that a little bit earlier with your employees. Like, they're going to be loyal if they hear you and they understand you and they can relate to you and know that you're real. Your customers are going to do the same thing. I mean, think about it. Whatever business you're in, if you're in a carpet business or some sort of service business where maybe you're helping, you're a handyman, or you do plumbing, or you do residential financing, you do mortgages. Whatever it may be, tell your story. Build that trust. And in sales, it gets kind of glossed over when they say, "I'll just build rapport." How's the weather? Oh, you're from this place too? Yeah, me too. Or I had my parents were from there. Man, that's surface level. And that may get you to buy enough time to have the next part of the conversation. But doesn't go to the depths where someone is like, man, there's something about this guy. I don't know what it is, but I want to do business with him. So creating the authentic marketing with your customers, once you do that, they're in. And not only just going to buy once, they're going to buy again. And they're going to buy again. And they're going to stay with you, or they're going to continue to pay you that retainer the month after month because they're in it for the long haul. They're in it because of you and your messaging and your energy, not your fancy AI glossed over robotic message, stale, but you. So what's important about this is really what leads me to point number 4. And that is the ripple effect. And I touched on this just a little bit earlier. And it's the ripple effect of what happens when you show up authentically in one area of your life. You start showing up authentically in all areas. This whole idea here, yes, we're talking business, we're talking marketing, but this transcends marketing. This is your name. This is your brand, not just in business, in life. This is in your relationships. This is in your parenting. And you showing up authentic, that's what's required for you to show up real, authentic, as a true master of your own self. And people will feel that. They're going to relate and resonate to it and go, dude, I love this guy. I'm all in. Or, yes, he's an amazing human being. I want to be in a relationship with him. So there's a ripple effect by doing this. And again, we don't live in silos. So if you can learn how to do this and have the courage, I don't care how much money you make, how fancy your car is, I'm willing to bet that there's a level of fear in there of you showing up real. I don't bet, I know, because I've seen it far too many times. Far too many men. I don't care how successful they are, because look, we live in a society where success is viewed on the scoreboard of life. You make a lot of money, you must be a really successful person. And it's all bullshit. It really is. It's something that our society has perpetuated for forever. It starts on us when we first wake up, when we first are brought into this world. I don't even say wake up, like just once you first are brought into this world, you're instantly put up on the scoreboard, and we buy into that. So I don't care how much money you have or how fancy you are, how fancy your stuff is and your things, your vacations. There's a level of fear in there for you as a man to show up authentically as your true, authentic self. That is just fact. So once you can break through that barrier, that's where personal power begins to illuminate. That's when your torch begins to blaze. And that personal power is what is required for you to grow your business, for you to improve your relationships, to be the most present and aligned and connected father. It's for you to take care of your body and your health and your mental and your physical well-being. That personal power. And when you do so, man, the things in your life that used to upset you, that used to cause you issues, the people you used to attract who mirrored that fear begin to dissipate and go away because you raise your frequency. And by doing so, standing in your own personal power of true, authentic self, you begin to attract people who are standing in their personal power and their true, authentic selves. And no better example of this is my relationships. And I got divorced, got married, ended up getting divorced, got into another relationship. These are good people. They're just misaligned relationships because I was not showing up authentic. And thus I was attracting women who were showing up inauthentic. And we're doing this dance. I'm afraid to tell about my feelings or what I'm really going on. And she's feeling that, and she's showing up in her own way that's misaligned with me. And we're just circling. We don't know how to healthy come together and connect on that, whether it's good, bad, or ugly. And it caused chaos, at least for me. And our relationships they were toxic. They weren't healthy. My business, and it's no coincidence, my business was toxic, was unhealthy, not working. And so that's generally how it goes. And once I was in that darkness and made a commitment to compete against myself to get out of that darkness, that's when it all began to shift for me. I began to raise my frequency, showing up authentically as myself, learning about self-mastery, how to continue to raise my frequency. And in doing so, I attracted someone into my life. A woman into my life that I would have never attracted 5-10 years ago. And not just for me, but for her as well. She had to go through her healing process while I was going through mine. And once we both were healing, a lot more healed than we had been, well, then I wasn't looking. I wasn't trying to go find anybody. I was perfectly fine with just being myself, being with my kids, growing my business. We began to come together and connect, and we attracted one another to heal together. And that is a true testament to me, my growth, and who I had become, to be able to attract someone like that into my life. So if you're someone out there, look, finding a new partner, finding a mate, that's a marketing play. And we do this whole dance on the apps and trying to attract people digitally. But again, it's artificial in that regard. Getting in front of someone and being authentic, telling your story, here's the risk for you. Just like in your marketing. You could do something true, authentic, real about yourself, and some troll on social media hits you with something negative, calls you a name, doesn't like what you have to, who you are, how you present yourself, whatever it is, and then we curl back up. Or you go out on a date, you share it, and you get ghosted, or the woman says, hey, I'm not interested. And that fear is what prevents us from showing up as the person we need to be to attract that customer, to attract the woman, to attract the opportunities and the people into our life. Do you see where I'm going with this? So, I know you have fear in putting yourself out there. And I want to encourage you that the truth will set you free. You show up as yourself. Freedom is on the other end of you becoming, having the discipline to show up authentically. Freedom is on the other side. The freedom that you're seeking is on the other side of you showing up as your true, authentic self. So, what's it going to be? Are you going to take on the new fanciest AI tool and let that be the solution to your marketing? Maybe that be the solution to you finding a love in your life, which I know is happening. Artificial partners. It's coming, or it's here. It's even here. So I get there's a fear behind it. And we as men, we evolve to the level of the challenges that we have for ourselves. So it's time to up your challenge, up this uncomfortableness, this fear, and yet and when you do so, you're going to evolve to that level. So I know you may say, hey, well, I don't have time to share my message. That's what my marketing team is for, or that's why I hire people to do that. Yes, I get it. And do you want to just blend in the crowd? Because then, your competitors are out there and they see what you're doing, and then they automate it using their stuff. And now you guys are competing in a red ocean. If you're familiar with blue ocean, a red ocean, right? The red ocean is where all the competitors are slashing and burning and bleeding, trying to cut each other's prices and so forth in order to win. You can be in a blue ocean without much competition because there's and here's the bow on it all as we end this episode. Here's the bow. There's no one like you. You're it. Like you're the only one with your story, with your experiences, your wisdom, your knowledge, your tone, the energy that you bring. You are it. And if you can communicate in a way that attracts people to you, which generally is going to be people like you, communicating your challenges, communicating your pain. Gosh, for example, you say something like, if you're in the carpet business, you can tell the story about how when you first got your new home and you bought a new puppy, and the new puppy was staining the carpet, because it didn't know it wasn't potty trained yet, right? So you couldn't get outside. It was staining the carpet. You used the traditional spray bottles that you find at the store, and you were spraying it, and it just left a god-awful smell that gave you headaches and actually created a bigger stain. And you thought that was the way to go. And gosh, you felt embarrassed because now you had these stains in your carpet, and your friends were coming over, and you didn't know what to do. And so you decided to hire a carpet cleaner to come. And the carpet cleaner came, but just didn't have, blah, 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 blah. You can continue to tell this story that infuses your feeling, your experience, the hardship that you had, how it made you feel. Yes, I said that again because it's important. People want to relate to that feeling. And men oftentimes don't want to share their feelings. So when you do, you're going to stand out, brother. My man, when you share your feelings, you are going to stand out because most men do not. What do you know? So if you're saying to yourself, I don't know how to show up authentically, man, just do you. What are you feeling right now? What's the truth about what you're feeling? There, that's starting small, and that's showing up authentically. If you are saying like, hey, I'm too busy with other marketing tactics, we're doing this stuff, yes, and whatever marketing tactics you are deploying, showing up as your true authentic self in that messaging is going to resonate with the right people who want to be one of your customers. And in doing so, you build that trust, you build that long-term relationship. Okay, so in today's episode, we explored the authentic intelligence, the real AI, the foundation, and that's what you need to put in your focus on. The AI stuff is easy. It's already being built. You just deploy it as a tool. However, you need to start to tap into your story, your true authentic self, who you really are, and that goes to far beyond just your bio. This is the truth about who you are as a man, as a business owner, as a father, as a loving partner. What's the truth behind that all? And owning that is your first step into developing a true, authentic message in your marketing. So if you are someone who's ready to take that next step and is like, man, I want to learn more about how to become my true authentic self, by all means, we have support in doing that, because self-mastery is where it's at. I truly believe that for you to become, here's the key, the man capable of having the life, the business, the love, the parenting relationships you have with your children, to become the man capable, self-mastery is the key. And so that's where you need to dive into, is to learn to master your true authentic self. If if you need help in doing that, a great place to start to get involved just into our ecosystem is to take on the Master Your Morning cheat sheet. So if you simply go to cletuscoffee.com/morning, you will get access to our Master Your Morning cheat sheet. Look, you can't master your life until you take some small chunks at mastering something. And for men, we got to master our morning, man. We got to learn how to step in and master that part of us, to go all in on us as men in the morning before we give and give for everyone else in our lives except ourselves. So to win the morning, master your morning, go to cletuscoffee.com/morning and get access to your cheat sheet. All right, so transformation is among us. Do not wait much longer. Get out there, be your true, authentic self in your messaging. Use AI to help support you in that, but the foundation is actually you. All right, my friends, catch you next time.